Okay, so we can sing the breathing out, and then I am home again. The last times for you to feel at home before you go home. Okay? Yeah, please come. Yeah. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am water reflecting what is real, what is true. And I feel there is space deep inside of me. I am free, I am free, I am free. We sing the song I Am Home. Number 4. Awaken spirit of the earth, I feel you grow in me. Awaken spirit of the earth, I feel you grow in me. I am home, I am home, I am home, I am home. Awaken spirit of the rain, I feel you flow in me. Awaken spirit of the rain, I feel you flow in me. I am home, I am home, I am home, I am home. Awaken spirit of the wind, I feel you blow in me. Awaken spirit of the wind, I feel you blow in me. I am home, I am home, I am home, I am home. Awaken spirit of the sun, I feel you shine in me. Awaken spirit of the sun, I feel you shine in me. I am home, I am home, I am home, I am home. We are home. to the Sangha. Let us. There is some empty place in the front. Please move forward to sit. And then we would like to ask all the monastic panels for the Q&A. Please come up.
Good morning, dear Thai, dear brothers and sisters, dear friends. So today we have a section of Q&A. So first of all, we would like to invite you to listen 3 sounds of the bell. So we come back to ourselves and just relax. Whatever question comes up, you just let it go, and then later you can ask. So follow our breathing, come back to ourselves, aware of our body, and relax. Dear Sangha, so first of all, we introduce ourselves. My name is Brother Dharma Choice. You can call me Brother DC. My name Brother Dharma Choice, and I have no choice. I have to sit here. So I just came back from Vietnam after 5 months. So when Thai passed away, so we, a group, we went to Vietnam for ceremony, and I stayed back to visit my family. And beginning of the retreat, I just arrived. So now I'm here, Mm, uh, yeah, I am very happy to join in the Wake Up Retreat with the young people. I'm 41, a little bit over Wake Up Retreat, but it's okay. So my right side sister Hiển Nghiêm, she is a shopper for retreat. So the food you ate last couple of days and today, very precious. That's it from her. She has skillful to shop food for the Sangha and very talented to do a lot of things, but that is her skillful shopping for the Sangha. And my left hand, brother Antinous, brother Pháp Không. He also a big brother in the Sangha. So he really good communication with the people, even though young one. Always, you should contact him whenever you need to come to Blue Cliff, even though the office is closed. But you still can connect to him by Facebook. You can follow schedule of Blue Cliff with him on Facebook. Yeah, he's very kind and always open to help people. He always, he's like a bodhisattva, always to welcome people and help and talk and share with all of you. So please contact to Brother Pháp Không. He also help Jean to do the office registration. Yeah, in this retreat and some retreat in a year. And next to him, that's Sister Bạch Nghiêm. She is like artist. She decoration Christmas or New Year. Also the retreat. You see the flower around here. That's from her. So beautiful things from this meditation house. She like decoration, make beautiful in the monastery. So we all welcome all of you and myself to the retreat. So now I would like to share with you that, like this morning mentioned from Brother Insight, that the question is a good question. It doesn't need long. So you can ask short and direct to what you want to practice and something related to your practice and your family and communication, anything that related to the practice and family. Also, the good answer doesn't need long, but short and direct to what the retreatant want to ask. So that's by that practice, so we can make the time shortened for everybody can ask. So we open for the Sangha to ask any question. Please come up to sit at the chair and listen the sound of the bell, and then we come back to our breathing, and then brother and sister, we pick up the answer to help you practice. So is that clear for you? Okay. So please, if you have any question, please come up to sit at the chair and make a line to continue like that, so we can have a good section of Q&A today. And today is the last day of the retreat. It's a very beautiful day. We would like to offer to you wholeheartedly everything we know, or everything we don't know, we can show you to find in a Google. Thank you.
First of all, thank you very much for all the kindness and generosity within the last few days. I guess I have a rather theoretical question. I'm a student in history, so I think about the past a lot, not necessarily my personal past. And then within these few days, thinking about this notion of being present and mindfulness, I was curious to know that how tasks that they are past-oriented and future-oriented, like planning for something that's supposed to happen or you want to happen in future, how one can maintain that state of mindfulness and still think and deeply think and engage with the past and future. Yeah, that's my question.
So, dear Thầy, dear friend, thank you for question. I think it's very good question. I think the three time, the past, present, future are all interconnected. So we sit in here, but the past is still with us. And any second we make here in the present will become the future. And the same thing, anything we make here in the next few seconds, they become the past. So it's very interconnected. So for example, we practice here for the last 4 or 5 days. If we invest well into the present moment at each moment, then it would be a beautiful past for us. We have wonderful memory at the retreat. There are also certain elements of the past that preoccupy us. So sometimes when we even practice meditation or something, we can look back into the past and learn how to embrace it and heal it. So it's possible to stay in the present moment and you can heal the past. And something we can, I think sometimes I sit and drinking tea and I have, after my first cup of tea, I can plan for the future. I think right now there are a couple brothers, we plan what to do during the lazy day after we finish this retreat. So that doesn't mean that by living deep in the present moment, we are not allowed to make a plan for the future. I heard there was some group who organized the summer family retreat. They start to have meeting and plan how to organize it. So that doesn't preclude that you cannot plan for the future. However, we need to have enough mindfulness and concentration to stay deeply in each moment in the present moment. Because that way we make all our effort to make life better for us, to heal and to nourish our joy and happiness in the present moment. And each of the minute of the present moment will be sent up to the future. Because often we don't pay attention enough to the present moment, like when we chop vegetable, I'm from the chopping vegetable team, and if you think too much about the future, you might cut your finger, and then it will hurt in the future. So I think sometimes it's good to pay attention to what is in front of us and to be truly present for our loved one in front of us in the present moment. So I don't know if any brother, sister would like to add something else.
Dear everybody, as a young people, I'm also would love to make a plan for my goal in the future. And I think making plan is also the wisdom of our ancestors. Because in the past, we see if we don't have plan, somehow it's difficult for us to achieve, make sure we achieve our goal in the future. So that's why we create a plan. So I think from my experience, in the past, I have a tend to sacrifice. It means I put aside my happiness in the present moment but devote all my time and energy to run away, to try to get my happiness in the future. But future is something we're not sure, very abstract. So for me, I found out, so I need to be grounded in the present moment. It means I still on the path to achieve my goal, but make sure I have peace, calm, and happiness on the way I go to my destination. Yes, and for the young people, easy for us to think about only successful in career. But actually, we're human. We need many things, like relationship with our beloved one, our parents, our friends, our siblings, and our teacher also. And we human are one element in the ecosystem, in the beautiful planet Earth. So that's why we don't hiding ourselves. I should not hiding myself so much in front of the screen or the room, quiet room, but I think be more with nature, be more with animals, be more whatever thing. So make my life more colorful, more interesting. Thank you.
Dear Thai, dear friends, community, I've been sitting here trying to think of a way to make it a short question. I might have to talk through it, but the short version might be, is there room for contemplative meditation? And this might be a question that is typical of a thinking Western analytical mind. So you can laugh at me if you want. I'm laughing at me. So in meditation, from what I understand, the guidance is to always come back to the breath. The thinking mind will be thinking, thoughts are going to come up, and the invitation is to come back to the breath. But Thai also talks about identifying the roots of our suffering and uncovering, understanding that our suffering often comes from a lack of complete understanding and misperceptions. And I understand that in meditation practice, some of those misperceptions might come up. And so my question is, do I just let them flow like the rest of my thoughts and come back to my breath and trust that that wisdom will be in me? Or is there some sort of place for me to maybe grab onto that? And that's maybe something where I should entertain that thought a bit and maybe contemplate it. So I don't know how to put that succinctly, but is that clear, more or less? Okay.
So, dear respected teachers, dear brothers and sisters, and dear friends sitting here, also there's many thoughts going on in my head too, but I come back to my breathing because there is a lot of, there's some anxiety also sitting up here. So just to let you know that, but it's okay, I recognize that is going on there, and I just follow my breathing. As soon as I follow my breathing, it just the calmness come, and I know that what happened, what question or what answer I will be answer, it's okay. So that okayness with whatever going on in the mind is help you to be clear and really mindful at the moment. So for me, practicing sitting, during the sitting, I normally come back to the posture, to my body first, because we tend to have focus on the thought, on the thought that is going to the mind. But the first thing that we do in meditation, just to come back and get in touch with your body. So first thing we do, we adjust our posture. We feel comfortable in our body, and then we follow our breathing. So that's the first part, to help to calm the mind. And the thought, it will go in and out. Some of the feelings, some of the emotion is okay because it's natural way of the mind. We cannot stop it, but the main thing is awareness. Are you present to see that? And through many years, through the experience, I see that the more I focus on my body, slowly that there's no thought when I do sitting meditation. It's just the enjoyment. And when I really enjoy the breathing. Is one day I just saw my breathing. Before I try to breathe, I try to control, kind of controlling, to see if my breathing in long or short. But I just sit relaxingly, and my body is in the present. I saw my breath. The breath is just go in and out, in and out. In that moment, the mind, it just stopped by itself clearly. And in that moment, in meditation, we also have topic of contemplation. And when we are clear in our mind, and then when we are solid, then we see clearly, more clearly, like a lake. When there is no wind, there is no ripple around. So you can see everything, and you see the root, where it's come from. And slowly you calm it, and you try to figure it out, and you accept it, whatever it is. And the acceptance is make your mind to stop too. When you are and you will be at peace with whatever is in your mind. And the other day we went up to Sandpoint. I know many young people have a chance to just be still up in the mountain. And this the first time I experienced in the mountain that that day the sun, it was so beautiful. There is no cloud at all. So it's all appearance, like it's all clear and beautiful. So in our mind, it's the same as the sunset. So I hope that is a little bit I can offer, and maybe my brothers can offer more. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sister Bat Kim, for answering the question. I'd like to add something. I think sometime if we planted seed of investigation into any subject, any difficulty, problem, it continue to work on the subconsciousness. And once in a while we have what we call aha moment, and it's come unexpectedly. It doesn't come when you actively investigate, like say in the sitting meditation. I remember Albert Einstein, he's working on the problem of the special relativity theory, and he's not happy because he's only limited in what we do. So he planted the seed of how I can improve on a special relativity, and often he was doing different things in life, and one day it just come up suddenly. He say, "Well, what if I imagine a situation when a person is trapped in the elevator in a spaceship, and they go at a constant acceleration, and inside that person would not see it moving, but it feel like a gravity, just like on Earth type of thing." So that they come to discover what we call the general relativity. So I think a lot of time when we look into the problem too, even we try hard to do in city meditation to look into, but sometimes it might not come right away. But then you have to trust that if you investigate the problem, you plant a seed in all your body, in all your subconsciousness, and then it continues to work, even though you wash your dish and nothing like that. And someday it's just come up and the answer come. So I think it's a lot easier. There are times when we can actively investigate why we sit in meditation. I think like the 4 causes of suffering or different things like that. It come to me not during sitting meditation, but suddenly I found where are all my causes of anxiety and fear, and because I know the basic four causes, and suddenly it appeared to me unexpectedly. That's because my mind is working on a subconscious level, even when I sleep, when I try to investigate something.
As you can probably tell, I'm like really terrified of speaking in public, but I feel comfortable enough here in this community that a question just came up and I just felt ready to sit in the queue and approach you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for this morning's ceremony. I had renewed my 5 mindfulness trainings. I had previously taken them 4 years ago, and today was a very nice ceremony for me to just remind myself of my practice. During the ceremony this morning, when we were touching the earth, I had witnessed myself sitting with very strong feelings, especially during the chant when we were bowing to our ancestors and our family. And I'm personally aware that that's because I come from a family background where my relationship with my immediate family, like my parents, is not always the healthiest. For context, I have been relatively estranged from them for the past 3 years. I grew up in Vietnam and I came over here for university, but I haven't been home for 3 years, and part of it is because I'm very worried and stressed out about the idea of visiting them again and sort of re-experiencing the trauma that I had grown up with. So with the practice, I've also learned to kind of come around and engage with them somewhat more compassionately and mindfully, but I will be coming back to Vietnam in 2 months, and I will be there for the foreseeable future. So I suppose one of my biggest concerns is, and my question to you would be, how can I still mindfully engage with people that I do have love for, but who also hurt me the most at times? Thank you.
That's an easy question, so I have to choose. Sorry, just kidding. I think follow the teaching of the Buddha, we can reconcile between we and our ancestors. So actually in our itself, that contain our ancestors, blood ancestor and also spiritual ancestor. Like we look at our hands, so we can see the blood, yeah, that's it from our ancestors. So we practice that breathing in. So I see that my ancestor in me, breathing out, I have compassionate love and understanding for our ancestors. So we sit there and practice with that and reconcile between us and our ancestors. First of all, we practice come back to ourselves and recognize that in ourselves we have ancestors always there. And also the people around us. So we practice first, we give love and compassion and understanding for ourselves. By that way, we make the understanding and love growth in us, right? Day by day, month by month, year by year. When we become a really understanding person or compassionate person or happiness person, so we easy to have reconnection with each other. If we don't really reconcile between ourselves, and then we could not connect to others. When we do good, connect to ourselves, and then later on we could automatically connect to others. First, we need to come back to ourselves and listen ourselves. That's what we have problem in here. So we sit in meditation. So we, with aware of mindfulness, bring mindfulness in ourselves and sit and invite our ancestors and the people do love you, or the people they don't love you. You can, when you calm yourself, and then you can bring that kind of energy comes up, and you can contemplate with the mind of the Buddha, with the heart of the Buddha, with that kind of looking deeply, and the mind of the Buddha always forgive the people, always love people, even though people harm the Buddha or, make trouble to the Buddha. The Buddha always have deep understanding and deep love to those like that. So we practice with the compassionate and understanding ourselves, grow day by day, and also invite the energy of the Buddha in us, the seeds of the Buddha in us, grow day by day, and you become a compassionate person, lovely person, and really deep understand person. And then you easy to reconnect to the people you don't really feel connected. Sometimes we need the energy of the Buddha in us. So that's why whenever we see the people, we throw our palm and we say, a lotus for you, a Buddha to be. That's everybody have the seed of the Buddha, right? That's the mind of love and the understanding in themselves. So we have that kind of seed too. So whenever we join our palm to reach each other, we make that kind of recognition. A lotus for you, a Buddha to be. Everybody can be a Buddha, yeah, even though the form is different. But you have the seed of love and understanding in you. So when you invite the Buddha in you, grow day by day, of course, next month you can forgive everything. You can love everybody and all living beings. So we practice, invite the Buddha, grow in us. Every practice, walking meditation, sitting meditation, or talk to friends, so invite mindfulness, always there. So by that way, we can easy to reconnect to the people we, miss connection. Thank you.
Dạ, con xin thưa sư cô, thưa thầy, cho con xin hỏi bằng tiếng Việt nha. Con muốn hỏi sư cô và thầy có thể chia sẻ bằng, không phải là bằng ý kiến không, mà bằng câu chuyện làm sao mà bình an trong một người có thể thay đổi nguyên thế giới. Thì con nghĩ đến con đang nghĩ đến không phải là như trong relationship với lại mọi người bên cạnh mình, nhưng mà con nghĩ đến mọi vấn đề mà to hơn, vấn đề mà khắp thế giới như là white supremacy, anti-blackness, hoặc là gender injustice, mấy vấn đề mà mình thấy quá lớn. Làm sao mà mình ngồi yên, thở vào thở ra, làm sao mà cái tập này influence cái vấn đề đó.
So, dear friends, I try to translate the question. The question is say there are so many problems in the world. There are all kind of violence, chaos in the world. How can we just sit still and practice mindful eating and transform the world and the suffering? I think I translate in English. You có hiểu tiếng Anh? I think there is a balance in everything in the world. There is violence, there are chaos, there are injustice, there are things, but there are some goodness, there are love, and there compassion in the world too. It's like a yin and yang. They kind of offset it. Basically, we just focus only on the negative aspect in the world, like war. So there are a certain number of countries that are at war in the world, but there are a lot of countries that are at peace too. We just don't pay attention to the countries who are at peace. So the thing is, I think there was a Chinese proverb. It says that the journey of the 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Right? So you embark on 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles, but you have to start with the first 2 steps, or 3 steps. So to practice being peace, which is this theme of this retreat, is we need to start with ourselves. If we can really sit and eat our meal, just one meal, fully at peace and with joy and happiness, then that's a good start, that we can spread it out to the next meal, to the people around us, to eat in mindfulness, in peace. And then our life becomes peace. And then when we interact with other people, we build a community of peace. And that we call a true peace activist. Because actually, a lot of people are peace activists, but they're very angry. They're very radical. And they don't contribute well for the peace movement. So I think it's good that we start to do daily mindful action, peaceful action, whether we cook our food, or whether we eat our meal, or whether we brush our teeth. Everything is done with peace and compassion. And then you get into the habit of being peaceful and being kind, being loving. And then anybody we interact with, we spread out that love, that peace. So it might work slowly, but actually over a long period of time, it's very beneficial for the whole society.
Dear respected Thầy, thank you, Brother Phúc Khong, for your answers, and I would like to just ask a little bit in. I see that also concretely in this retreat, as you see, all of you, the first day you come, because we cultivate this energy of peace in ourselves. That's why we are a place of refuge for other people, and it's happened here already. I see everybody in your step, in your face, in your practice is already peace, and this peace, I'm sure, I'm 100% sure that it will radiate out when you go out from here. And there's an aspiration to go out to make peace, and it's happened here, right here in this retreat. If you cultivate enough peace in here, and during the pandemic in a monastery or the same, because we think that, we have to go out and help, but we cannot go out to help. So the only thing we can do is to come back and take care of ourselves, because if we have anxiety like the same with everybody else, then we cannot share any energy out. So it's main thing that we can take care of ourselves in the moment, and we create peace, so that we can bring out the peace. And I can see already in this retreat, and I have faith that you continue this peace out to the family, and that slowly it will generate out into the world. And one example is our teacher, and I have a lot of faith in him. That's how he practiced. He voiced it, but he also do all the practices so that he can have peace. And now all in the world, when they get in touch with the teaching, they also have the peace in him. And the question earlier about the difficulty with the parents and things like that. And I feel in this retreat, I have touched with a few young people that have like a trauma, and I feel a lot of empathy to that, because sorry that you have brought up in a family, or you are in the circumstances that not loving family, and you have to go through this hardship. And I felt that it's very important to, we all have, now we have a chance to learn the practice, and we can better ourselves so that we don't continue to hurt our children or people around. And I know it's difficult for someone who have trauma or someone who have to go out and face, and especially many of our friends here. Yeah, here it's easy to practice, but coming out is the same question, coming out into the world, how you continue. So I see that you can bring one of the practice here, walking, mindful walking or mindful breathing. Create yourself in yourself, a home, a place that you can have a space for yourself so that you can deal with all the difficult that come through your life. At least take one practice, and if you and also our parents or ancestors may have gone through a war or gone to they are also victim of abuse. That's why they continue to pass on to us, or they continue to hurt us. So we can look. Sometimes we just look at the dark side of it, and we, one dot in the whiteboard, and then we color the whole board is black, but actually around it there's many beauty in our parents. And when we just think about when you just born, how they take care of you, how they have to go through that loving and caring for you until you grow up, and they have many other quality because of the stress of the world or things that happen to them, and they don't know how to practice, so that they cannot overcome their suffering. That's why they continue on you. But please be compassionate and look into the goodness of people. And I hope that you can find some space for yourself before you coming back to deal with the situation that you're in. I hope that you can be strong enough to go through, and we all, because we have the practice, we can do it mindfully and compassionately. Thank you.
Dear brothers, sisters, and communities, look at the picture on the stage. You see, under the ancient tree, only one person. Easy for us to think monastic is someone to hiding in the cave or in the high mountain to practice in order to cultivate peace inside of them. But you see, we and every brother and sister here, we also sometimes we need monastery, the environment with many elements supportive us to come back to ourselves, to cultivate the peace energy inside of us. But also we see, we find the method to cultivate peace inside of us. And after that, we want to share with for everybody. So that's why we also create the retreat for many young people like you. Come here, and together we contribute our insight, our peace energy to find the answer for many big problems in the world right now. And I found out the right decision make from clear mind and peace inside of you. So first of all, I think we need to cultivate peace and calm so our mind clear enough. So every decision we made, is it a bad decision? The decision make sure bring happiness to ourselves and to the other ones. And the community create from many single elements, many individuals. If we're changing, surely the community will changing. So the problem in the world also, if we're changing ourselves, the problem in the world will change. Yeah, I have something to add in. Hopefully can help you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Thomas, and my question is, how can someone build self-esteem or your self-worth even if you have actions of the past that you don't like? So sorry. How can you build your self-worth or self-esteem even if you don't like yourself or like your past actions that you have made?
So, dear family, I also consider myself as a low self-esteem. Many times I don't believe in myself that I have all the good quality and living in a community. Sometimes, because we are in a community, these people good, so we also try to be up to the expectation or something like that, and sometimes it create some kind of suffering, or not suffering, but some kind of pain. So I myself, sometimes I see that living in a community, I slowly practice to see myself in my brothers and sisters. And I see that the quality that I cannot do, maybe they do it so well. And every time, it's happened like this. Every time a sister or brother, my younger brother or sister come to give a Dharma talk, I feel that I'm giving a Dharma talk, and I get so tired. So that one quality that I practice to see myself in my brothers and sister, and that also helped me to not to be low self-esteem, because I see that I also have that quality, but I can do it, but I cannot say it in a talk or in something like that. So I see myself. I practice to see myself, and anybody can do something in the community or in my brother and sister. I support with all my heart. I support and I be there with them at the moment. And sometimes that affects me a lot, bring me a lot of joy, also bring me a lot of worry. But it's okay. That's how I practice daily in my daily life. And also something that is in the past that I have done, bad, and I think about myself that is not good. But because there are circumstances or situation that we don't have a knowledge, or we don't know, we kind of ignorant around it. That's why we make that mistake. But it's okay. Now we see our mistake, and we learn to do better. We learn to see in different aspects of life, and we can make ourselves. It's okay to make mistake, because we are humans, and everybody. So when you can accept the mistake and your weaknesses, that is already your strength, and it make you strong, and you can empathize with other people, and we can be loving with other people. That's a good side of the regret that we have. So that's all I have to share with you. I hope that helped. Yeah.
I would like to add some. In Thai calligraphy, he wrote about be yourself, be beautiful. You don't need to be other, like the rose doesn't need to be orchid in order to be beautiful, or the lotus flower doesn't to be roses flower in order to be beautiful. So you just be yourself, and go back to listen yourself, to take care of yourself. You don't need to complex with others. So you meditate, you look deeply into yourself. Whatever you have, you can be good at. Yeah, good at it. For example, you don't know to cook, so you can learn from your parents how to cook. Like me, when I entered the monastery, I didn't know to cook. So I observed brother and sister to cook, and then I learned. I learned to do it. Like now, I can chop vegetable, can steam vegetable. I could not cook a good dish like brother sister, like but I can do chop vegetable, can steam vegetable. That very easy to learn and to do slowly, step by step. So you can do the same. You can observe your parents and to do things, and then you can learn and training yourself day by day, and you can be a good cook, right? And also you can come to the monastery. You can stay for 3 months. You can learn from us. You can learn from me how to steam vegetable. Very simple, step by step, and we train ourselves. The same thing with practice mindfulness. Train ourselves. Take one step with mindfulness. Take other step with mindfulness. Just slowly train ourselves. And you don't need to be others to be good like others, but just be yourself and happy with yourself. Okay, thank you. Do you have any more question? Oh, one more, please. Sorry.
Hello. Hi. So this morning I received the 5 mindfulness trainings, and the Dharma name I received was Nourishing Listening of the Source. And what the brother was explaining to me, it's like, oh, you need to focus on making sure that you do not listen to like harmful things. But I guess for me, I wanted to ask for more guidance on that, because I guess it seems like in my life, it feels very difficult for me to set boundaries between people I care about, but also being overwhelmed by their suffering.
Dear Thầy, dear friend, thank you for the question. I think probably one of the gatha that Thầy share with us, I think is very helpful in this case. I think they call the mantra, I think, you are partly right. That means you are partly wrong too. So I think whenever people share with you about something, and it might hurt you or it might make you feel uncomfortable, first of all, that's because you are fragile, you are sensitive, and maybe that person doesn't know you well enough. So, and also maybe the person who share with you might be hurt himself or herself. So he's not able to release his suffering, so he passes on his or her suffering to you. And being you become fragile, you receive it. And how you perceive that's another thing too. Because sometimes the person might say something and not mail you harmful thought, but you might misinterpret it. You think that the person is picking up on you. So sometimes there's a part of filtering when you are listening to the word that people were sharing with you. I think there was a previous question, or maybe relate to, I think, how you deal with the loved one that sometimes make you feel uncomfortable. I remember I was talking to my mother, whom I love dearly, and she's alone. She lives by herself, and she didn't have too many people to talk. So once in a while, when I come to visit her, I stay for a few days, a few weeks. And so she started to talk about the relative that we know, and she go on and on, you know. And especially the relative that has a kind of a bad personality. And just listen to her, I love her, I want to listen to her, but then I feel so heavy, you know. And then I went to Plum Village and asked a question to Thay. and Thay said that you don't have to try to be compassionate and listen to all her complaint and all the things all the time, have you down. And you can tell her that, well, you not feel ready, you feel tired, can we stop the conversation and talk about something else, you think? So I thought about it, then I went 3 months to retreat, and after finish, I came back to visit my mom again. And she forgot that she had shared with me about all those things, especially a bad cousin. I mean, she has so many things to say badly about her. And then and this time I have a strategy. I know how to deal with it. So as soon as she's talked about cousin A, you know, and so I cut her off and I say, the last time I passed by, you already talked me about cousin A. She do this bad, she do this bad, she do this bad, she do this bad, she do this bad. I summarized the whole thing. So you have anything new that I haven't heard about? And that stopped her on the track. She couldn't say anything because I summarized the whole thing already in a few minutes. So sometimes you need to be skillful in changing the subject and to say something else about, hey, how about cousin C? She's so wonderful, you know, all kind of thing. So I remember one time I interviewed her, you know, so say, tell me, how did you meet daddy, you know, how your father, you know, did he has to court you a lot before you accept you to marry him or something like that? And it's what a good seat in her. So to me, a lot of time you can take a proactive approach in have a kind of fruitful conversation and not have to dwell in a certain thing because there might be some misperception about you or something like that. And I think I want to answer the question about low esteem too. To me, there's something very concrete that you can develop skill yourself. You know, I remember I want to play piano, but my family couldn't afford to buy a piano. So I tried to play something on the shoebox with the string. And my elder sister said that if you can play 3 songs, I will buy you a guitar. So I did, you know, using a shoebox with some string, you know, and I play some song. And then she bought and she gave me the guitar. So I learned by myself. We didn't have money at that time to take private class or something. So I learned to play guitar, and I developed some skill. I'm not the best guitar player. I don't read music, but at least that gave me some good self-esteem. I think I remember I am the youngest family, and my family was have a joke. They say that They fight each other and they compete about who will enter mother uterus. So my elder brother come first and become born first. My elder sister come first, and I'm saying, no, you go first. I take my time, and so I'm the last to come out. And I think that's how it is. I'm a contemplative person. I take my time, I observe, and so I'm always not good with competing. I always last or something like that. But then you can develop some skill. For example, like I love swimming, so I develop a swimming skill. I can swim for hours in the ocean. So now I have a good self-esteem about swimming. The same thing, I take my time. I didn't being a big shot in business or something, but I learned foreign language because I love to communicate with other people. And it takes, 100 hours learning foreign language. But then I developed some skills, so I have a good self-esteem. So I think to me, regardless what people say, you have to develop your own skill. And everybody have some skill one way or the other. So if you work on your skill, like Nat played wonderful music yesterday, and she go up to play flute or whatever other thing instrument. I thought I can never compete with him, but at least I have my own self-esteem. I can defend myself. At least I can sing some songs. So to me, that's the best way to do. And the people around you, I think, should help you to develop some skill and to develop a good self-esteem. Because often you image yourself based on how people treat you. And then if people treat you badly, lowly, and then you feel bad about it. You feel like, well, I'm not worthy and all kinds of things. But I think if you really develop yourself and the people around you encourage you to share, to do more, then you develop your own self-esteem. And so I think to me that's very important. So you don't have to be the best guitar player like Nat, but you can do your own, Thank you.
Thank you. So any more question? Do you have any question? So please come. Also, this is the last question, so we will end after the answer.
Hello, brothers and sisters, dear friends. There has been a burden that I've been carrying for almost 5 years that I didn't feel like I could share with anyone else. But I feel like with the theme of this retreat and the energy that was generated by the community, I'm so grateful that I feel that I've arrived. So almost 5 years ago, I crossed paths with a man who chose to commit an act of terror. He drove a truck and he attacked 22 bicyclists, and 8 of them died and 11 survived, including me, in New York City. And so I've been working very deeply to cultivate the seeds of compassion and inner peace. Very soon, probably this year, I will have to go to court to deal with his sentencing. And I have an opportunity to address the court with my victim impact statement. And I've been thinking a lot about what I want to say, what I want to share, and going to school to study psychology and spirituality to figure out, how I can contribute to world peace. And, obviously that's very overwhelming, and I have understood that the first step is cultivating inner peace. One thing I didn't know how to do, or I wasn't able to do before, was to ask for support from a community. I didn't feel like there was anyone who could give me guidance, because I know that I can, that I've been working on trusting my own inner guidance and working on it by myself. And I started to share a little bit with the beloved community here. And so I guess, I do understand that there is a community that's out there that is interested in the same. And there's so much violence that's been occurring over the past several years. And I think that, what I see on the news and in the way, and in people's hearts, in the majority of people, there's still a lot of anger. And a lot of people do not want to choose the path of peace or compassion or forgiveness. And so I know that when I go to court and I have a chance to look at this man as a person, and I've been trying to understand, how did you get to where you are, and how do I reach you? How do I see you? And how do I set an example for the future of humanity? Because I just feel like a lot of the leaders in the world today are not seeding the right ideas on how to resolve these issues that don't seem to be stopping. And so I guess I would love to ask for your guidance in any way in terms of what more can I do? How can I shift my perspective so that I can feel ready to see him again? Thank you.
So, dear Thầy, dear friend, thank you for the question. I think it's good that you share with us, you share with your loved one, because I think you probably have some trauma too, from witnesses or from knowing very close the event and the person involved with that event. So for you, it's good to make peace with yourself first. And there is a process going on. So try to understand your situation, your involvement, and to me, often we only know partly a certain aspect of the person. I think I equate to like the 5 blind men try to touch and figure out the elephant. You know, like somebody touched the tail of the elephant and they say it looked like a snake, and somebody touched the body of the elephant, it looked like a wall. You know, so we see only a certain aspect of the person from our own perspective. I think luckily the court will have a procedure. There will be a jury selected. There will be different side of asking questions from various witnesses, various people get involved, so you can learn more about the person and the event. So just make peace with your part of the involvement in the process. And the most important, to make peace with yourself. So to me, when one have a trauma, I think if you are conscious and you know how to share, that already a big relief. When you have a trauma and it buries so deep in your subconsciousness that you cannot describe, you cannot share, then it remains buried deeply for a long, long time and make you suffer. But if you already know and you can talk about it, I think that's very good step toward healing process. I would say keep sharing whenever you find a group, a community that you are able to do deep listening, share with you. You can have a private consultation with some of the monastic and share some more. If you feel you have some time, spend a few days with us here and there, and practice with us and share, because it's important for you to heal yourself from that traumatic experience. And then when you need to come, you resolve your peace, it's easy for you to share in court and just speak about the truth, that's all. And you just contribute to the helping of the seeing the person with the court. And there will be other person who share from their own perspective as well. So, thank you.
Yeah, I just like to share a story about our teacher. He has experience of suffering similar with you. When he was in France, so at that time after 1975, so the Vietnamese people, they left country, so they want to left the country after 1975. The communists so took over, so they just go on the boat and then just left, you know, whatever, die in the ocean, or they don't care, they just left the country. So Thầy, our teacher, he ran 2 boats to go to the ocean nearby Thailand, so to rescue Vietnamese people. So at that time, some of his students report to him he was in France, in Plumvillis. He was waiting for the news from Thailand, the ocean. Some of them is raped by pirate and kill a young lady and rape and throw them to the ocean and so on. So a lot of boat people has been killed and died a lot. So reported to Thai in Plumvillis. So he he was suffering a lot. He was crying. He was, looked like depression at that time because he's suffering because of Vietnamese people has been died and killed in the ocean and there's nowhere to go. So he meditate and he share in his journey that he meditate on it. So he meditate that if he was Thai, he was grow up in Thailand nearby the ocean. If he heard some people call him, okay, please come with me, go to the ocean. You can just stop the boat people and you change your life. You can have gold, you can have money because Vietnamese people, they left their country, they must bring a lot of money and gold and so on. So they, if the young people grow up in the countryside of Thailand, nearby the ocean, if they heard people calling them, they just go because they never go to school, they never learn how to act good person, So he meditate on it. He meditate like, he grow up like that person, never go to school, never have good family, so broken family, but somebody call him, he must go to the ocean and stop the boat people and saw the people rapping, or they rapping, kill people, they kill people. Because when they live in that environment, they don't have a knowledge to act and to have compassion to the people. They just do whatever the people act like that in that environment, violence environment. He meditate as a pirate person like that. He could, and then he can forgive a pirate person because if he grow up in that environment, he also become pirate, right? Because he has no chance to change his life. He has no chance to go to school. He has no chance to learn from good environment. The environment's all is violence, always killing, always just money and just do harm people. So he meditate on that. He does pirates and then he can forgive him. And he wrote a poem called "Please Call Me by My True Name." You can listen on the YouTube or you can buy a book in the bookshop called "Please Call Me by My True Name." All poem is really wonderful. So everybody have the seed of suffering, but also they have the seed of compassion, the seed of love, but they grow up in the environment that never water the good seed in them. They in the environment that always water the seed of violence. So they never know how to forgive, how to love, how to understand. So if we meditate like that, we can give compassion, first of all, for ourselves. First of all, we give compassionate in ourselves and we can forgive the person that do harm people. And we find a way how to help young people, help the people in the violence environment, how to rescue them, how to help them to transform their violence, become more compassionate. So you can meditate on that topic, so to can forgive yourself and to find a way to help the people. Because him or her, if they live in the bad environment like that, they will become a bad person. If they live in a good environment, always watering the good seed in them, always have compassionate, always forgiveness, always embrace people. So that person must be a happy person. So they don't do harm to environment. they don't to do harm to the people. So when we practice meditate on that topic, so we can we find a way how to take care of ourselves, take care of ourselves, and how to help the young people and to transform the environment to be a good environment for young people can take refuge in. Like here, right? Like all of us, we create a good environment for people all around the world can come to nourish their good seed and also cultivate a good seed in them. Please call me by my two names. That's a good poem of Thai. I can sing for you 2 sentences. Please call me by my true name so that I can wake up and the door of my heart could be left open. The door of compassion. Thank you, everyone. So we listen 3 sounds of bell, and then we will end the section of Q&A today. I wish everybody have a good time at Blue Cliff, and also bring joy and happiness and all beautiful things back to your family and to your environment to share to those people around you. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Announcement from organizing team, please. So unfold your legs and massage before we can stand up. Before announcement, you know, you have a wake up sangha in New York, right? So the young ladies, you can